Greetings, Patrick here. Cheeto will view. Welcome to 8 Questions with. It's our second show of the week. Yesterday we got to talk to Robert Parham. I had an awesome time. That was a lot of fun talking with him yesterday. Just an absolute delight. Can't wait to see what he's got coming down the pike. His creature feature franchise. It sounds absolutely awesome, to tell you the truth. And we're going to keep going with that atmosphere. We're going to keep going with that. Matt Burns will be here in about 15 minutes. Oh, yeah, he's ready. So I'm going to tell him to come on up. So what's really cool about this is that we talked to Robert yesterday. Now we're going to be talking to another we're going to talk to another not only is an actor but he also got his job working for Blood Pact Films. So now he's working both as a working actor, and then his job is to find movies. His job is to find movies that Blood Pact can turn around and sell. So and that company is headed by I don't know. I want to make sure I say his name right. Shane. Oh, I know that. I know that. And Blood Pact Films even says here on their vision page right here. At Blood Pact Films, our vision is to elevate the genre through the art of unsettling cinema. We believe that true horror resonates through atmosphere, authenticity, and a willingness to explore the darkest corners of the human experience. Our team is dedicated to curating a slate of films that captivate through tension, pushing the boundaries of what audiences expect from independent horror. As we expand our library of terror, they got a damn good library. I gotta tell you, for a small indie company, they got some films on there. Let's see. As we expand our library of terror, we invite filmmakers and fans alike to join us in bringing visceral, compelling nightmares to life. So, as you can see, hey Jerry, how are you, sir? Glad you're here. As you can see, they have, if you go to their website and I have it down below there, they have a lot. They have a lot of good films that you can take a peek at. I reviewed one already, and we're going to be talking about some other ones that Matt has worked on. All right, Matt, how are you, sir?
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Okay. Wait, we got that last time. Check your phone. Make sure it's not on mute. Sure. You are muted. All right. Wow, where's my page? I think I have to got to check your Facebook. There you go. All right. So Matt's gonna be back here in a second. Yeah, that's one good thing about Facebook. You can go and DM somebody. Can't hear you. So So Blood Pack Film, like I said, Blood Pack Film, they have a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, come on. Wow, where'd he go? Okay, there he is. All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2.
Still can't hear. I only have my
Okay.
phone too. I don't have any other kind of mic, unfortunately.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, you already did that.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Oop.
StreamYard's gonna ask you. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. There we go. We'll use our secret weapon, which is Chrome. Oh, he is going through Chrome. That's unusual then. Wow. Can you guys hear me all right? Am I coming through okay? Testing 1, 2. Can you guys hear me?
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Test 1, 2. Test 1,
Still
2.
cannot hear you at all.
Wow.
Happening here.
I am running out of rabbits. Yeah, go through Chrome. Phone. Oh, I haven't had this in a long time. Not this bad. Let's see. Okay. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and try to reboot. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mentioned this yesterday, so we're gonna mention it today. Another day closer to Gross Fest. Gross Fest starts on Friday. Gross Fest starts on Friday. Absolutely stacked convention. Probably the most family friendly, family affordable convention in Pennsylvania. Tom and Tim Gross. They're having that's a very special guest. The guest of honor for this year's Gross Fest is none other than Todd Sheets. So congratulations to Todd and his team. They're the featured guest, and yeah, man, super cool for that. They're gonna have a lot of premieres, including Carousel 4, Steve Brunzinski's newest film, Steve and Eileen. They came back with another Duke adventure, which I think is very much needed. So that I was very happy to hear that. A lot of the cool guests are going to be there, including Jennifer Nagel and the lovely Morgan Thompson will be there. Yeah, vendors are galore. Vendors are that's the really cool thing about Gross Fest. I gotta tell you, the fact that you guys can come in for a really affordable price, see some really cool independent celebrities, but the vendors are they're not charged very much. They're able to go out there and make some money. A lot of vendors do not make money. I had no idea how expensive it could be until our good friend John from Doomsday Crypt did it for a few years, and you found out real quick exactly how much it really costs, and it costs a lot of flipping money. Bringing a trailer, bringing help, you have to set up. I mean, it's very labor intensive, and yeah, but Growth Fest makes it really easy, plus the high prices to get in the table. Like if you want a table close to the action, to the heavy hitters, you're gonna pay through the nose for that. But here at Growth Fest, I think it's first come, first serve, if I'm not mistaken. If you contact Tim and Tom and they sit there and say, man, I want, hey, as soon as you start setting up for 2027, let me know. And I'm sure they have their own system of how it works. Um, but vendors can make money, and that's really a cool thing to see in today's game. Is the fact that there are some filmmakers and some people actually be able to make money. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No.
Can't hear you.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I am out of rabbits here. Ah, okay. Let me see if I can get him to come through here. Username brand new. Brand new. Yeah, it happens. Let's see if we can try this. All right. Oh, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and try one last Hail Mary here. All right, testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Because I hear you. I hear you. All right, testing 1, 2.
Check
Testing
1 2. Check
1,
1 2.
2.
I cannot.
Yeah.
say something.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. No,
Nothing.
is your
What is happening here?
yeah, are your speakers are your speakers plugged in? Or let's see. Hmm. Yeah, well, this might not work out. Can't really can't really have a show without the guest. Well, um, and I would say reach out to ask Shane, but he might not be. I want to do that with some promotion behind it. Um, yeah, I don't know what's the matter because he can hear me fine. Let's see. All right. All right. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Oh man, this is awful. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know that either. Well, hi Sue. Looks like we're having tech problems. Our guest cannot connect. We hear him perfectly fine. We're able to bring him on the stage, and we hear him perfectly fine, but he can't hear me. So we've tried Chrome. I tried to have him try to come up through Safari, and we rebooted. And yeah, I have no idea. I know he's going through his phone. Um, let's see. Uh, yeah, he used Chrome every time. Yeah, that's the secret weapon when you use StreamYard, man. If you have trouble getting on, is to I think maybe I'm gonna try to do the mic again. Oh, he only has the one mic on his phone. Uh, I know it sounds silly, but is your sound up? I mean, yeah, like sometimes you can mute yourself or turn down the volume and yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens here. All right. What the hell? He got bounced. So this might be StreamYard. Why is he getting bounced? Okay. All right, testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
We'll
Okay.
reschedule. We got to reschedule. This
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
yeah. We'll reschedule. All right, that happens. We're gonna go ahead and I'll have to reschedule Matt. Maybe we'll get Matt and Shane in here. And we're also gonna do a tech meeting too. All right. Well, what do I want to do with this? I don't know. Anybody's good of yeah, now I got 5 people. Wouldn't that be, isn't that always the shit? All right. So yeah, so I guess we could just we'll just have open mic. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Ask me anything you want. Yeah. Um we can talk about anything that you guys want. Yeah, yeah, Jeff, I've been having, yeah, I had technical difficulties for sure. Actually, not me, but my guest. My guest had problems. I was fine. I felt bad for him. Um, so, you want to come up for a little bit, Jeff, and talk about your book for a couple of minutes? Um, just let me know, and I'll drop you the link. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I hadn't had one of these in a long time. I will say that I've had problems, but I haven't had complete communication where I couldn't connect with the guests at all. So that's been a while since that's happened. But we still get glitches. Like when the voice goes crazy and electronically gets vibrated out. Um, Still sucks when I try to talk to anybody on the western side of yeah, yeah, it was on his side. That's too bad. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and reschedule Matt, and then we're gonna do a tech run, make sure that we're working. I mean, yeah. All right, yeah. Let me just drop that in. Let me drop that in to you on Facebook. Um, yeah. You don't know. I'll just fuck it. I'm not gonna do that there. I'll just do it. I'll do it here. I'll do it live. Let's see. Let's take that down and let's go over here. All right. So here we all right, yeah, let me know and I'll see I'll find you here. Oh, man, where is this is crazy. Do, 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 do. All right, let me go over here real quick and just okay. All right. I'll drop the link there, Jeff, in the chat. When you're ready for it, I'll drop, and then as soon as you come up, I'll go ahead and bump it off. So yeah, so we're gonna be talking to Jeff, 101 Bronson. He's got a brand new book, Streets of Judgment. It's his first novel, and yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Not too much in depth because I'm gonna have him come back for that. But at least what we'll do is let you guys know a little bit about the book. That it is physically being released physically, so you can order a copy via Amazon. I'm sure Jeff probably have a. You can also probably order the book through his probably through his YouTube, I would think. Um, but he's got a brand new book out, and yeah, that's really cool. To put that much effort, and it's the second time we've had someone who's actually wrote a book. In fact, Khalil Neal was hyping up our interview that we had a little while ago. He was hyping it up on his channel today, and he is like the first one um, to actively write a book after he's been on the show, and Jeff is the next one. So it's very exciting to see that. Of course, we've had many authors on the show. We've had a lot of authors. Win Scott Eckert. We've had. I mean, I have a playlist with that. I should drop that. I should just drop the playlist, right? Um, I'll have to do that. I'll have to drop that. Um, but yeah, we've interviewed plenty of people who've written books, and it's always fun to interview authors. Of course, our friend Michael Cassie has written a book. Kyle Farnsworth, who wrote the President's Vampire, and also is writing the Jesse Stone novels for the Robert B. Parker estate. And speaking of books, so I mean, some of you guys might have heard me ranting about in happiness about all the English mystery books that I've been getting recently. Man, I've got mystery shows. I've gotten just so much. It's so cool, and like I believe I pretty much got all of the Hercule Poirot from the PBS Masterpiece Theater, David Suchet. I pretty much got all his. I've also got the entire series of Inspector Lewis. I'm missing one season of the Inspector Lindley mysteries. I only got one Inspector Morse, but I went over today. I went over to my library on Tuesday. I went over to my library on Tuesday. I was looking at all the TV shows on the back of the wall, and what I was looking for was I'm looking for the condition of the movie. Like if it's brand spanking new, shiny cover, yeah, that's probably not going to get cold. But I looked at Inspector Lewis, and boys and girls, that looks sort of it looks sort of dried out. The cover have been the sun had where they had it before. At one point, they had sun hitting it. It looks really. It's not a very attractive package. In fact, that's probably one thing I would probably say after they're done culling. I'm going to mention to them that hey, it would probably behoove you to refresh your covers of all your movies and all your TV shows, because people are going back there now and all they see is some bleached out. It doesn't look very attractive, even if it's free. It's just people see that and they're not really, unless they're really determined to watch that particular movie. If that's the case, then maybe they go ahead and rent it out. But for just a casual person, hey, I'll just get something to watch tonight, and then you go back there and you see the series is just totally looks like it's dried up. It looks it just the color's bleached. It's not very attractive, and move on. Now the library does like like a Blockbuster did, and any other rental stores did was, and the store I used to shop at was Family Video, and Family Video had that problem too. In fact, but they had but at that time they put their kids section over there, and the kids section took the beating. But it didn't really matter because um, they were going to hold on to those to the death. You didn't buy kid shows from Family Video. Oh, but it did hurt it did hurt, and the clerks knew that. All right. All right. Ta-da! Yeah, it's really something else when you like I mentioned this before for and this is something too that I think for young writers such as Jeff who are just coming out, writing their first novel and whatnot. I do believe, wow, I'm probably gonna get some heat for this, but um, when you're trying to keep costs down because this is your first novel and you're gonna lose money before you see any money coming back. I think it's fine to use AI for your first cover. I do. It gives you identity. It gives you a chance for to new readers to discover your book. And hey, it doesn't help to have an attractive cover. You don't want to be generic. You don't want to be like, you know, 50 helicopters and 20 kung fu art. No, you want it to be simple. And you want to be clean and colorful. And so I think for the first novel, the first one, after you get established, then I would try to go find someone to do a proper cover for you. You can hire someone to do that because by that time you'll be known as an author. Um, okay, hopefully Jeff will be able to. Oh, there he is. All right,
All right. Can you hear me?
that was easy. Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that link. I always feel like my ass is hanging out in the wind whenever I drop a link into the chat. I always
Yeah.
feel that. I feel like, yeah, the wind is blowing on my ass. I gotta shut the door. Shut the door. Yeah. So, man, congratulations again, my friend. Streets of Judgment. Man,
Yeah.
you must have been. I was just imagining what it looked like. You were probably sitting there just typing like crazy. Either a beer or whiskey. You probably had
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple of packs of smokes over here. Just like without when you write, Jeff, did you get right into the groove? I mean, it's like once you sat there and you just typed in, I mean, did you just go until you were just tired or your hands were tired?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously, when you first start out, it's always you facing that blank page, right? So that's always the hardest thing when you got that blank page in front. You got to fill that with words. But once it starts, for me anyway, it just kind of flowed in a way. Another thing that helped me is that this book is based on a screenplay that I've written about 10 years ago. So I kind of had the skeletal structure of the stories still in my brain, and I could still go back to the original script if I wanted to for some. Okay, what did I do there? How did the story go? So that kind of helped having a kind of a skeletal structure to fall back on. But obviously, it's a book; it's different than a screenplay. Obviously, there are way more
Right.
details, and obviously a lot of stuff is flashed out and expanded on. So a lot of things did fall back on me using my imagination again and expanding on everything. But I did have that to go back on. So yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah, as soon as as soon as she told me about the book and you gave me the synopsis, and I'm like, I saw the character's name, and I'm just like, man, I just got choked up because, I think you and I are the only ones that whenever we talk about the big guys, the big guns, like Sly or Arnold or Matthias, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You and I seem to be the only two people that will sit there and not afraid to bring up Noon Till Three, which I feel is
Yeah.
one of Bronson's best. It's such
Oh
a
yeah.
good movie.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
but because it's not action, it's because it's not it's not Death Wish, or I think a lot of Bronson fans just it goes right over their head.
Mm.
And to me, it's like the best thing about Bronson was his relationship with Jill Ireland. That
Yeah.
was it. I mean, you can sit there and talk about the movies all the time. Oh yeah, Chato's Land, yeah, and Digstown, and dude, that meant nothing. Because if you're a true Bronson fan, you noticed his work before Jill and after Jill.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the movies he did before Jill were vibrant and life. I mean, when he says, you know, when he shot your ass and he says, here, take this. He's coming. You can feel that. And then and sort of afterwards, it was
Yeah.
just
Very
like,
raw. Yeah.
right. It was
Yeah.
just like another job. It's just like, okay,
Mm.
um, you know, and you could tell that as a Bronson fan, you could just tell that. Um, I mean, he still did good work. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and
Oh
say
yeah.
that he phoned it in every time, but you could tell that the life really, it just wasn't there for him. But when you mentioned their two names, the names of the characters, I got choked up because I knew where you were coming from, and yeah, I think more and more Bronson fans will too as the book expands its reach.
Yeah. Yeah. You know the funny
Why
thing about
why
that.
did you name them? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna go into yeah. That's a good way to segue into it. You know, funny thing about that actually is it then started out as well. He was always Charlie Decker in my book, way back when I wrote the first draft of the screenplay. But she was actually named Vivian at first. She was based on the girl that I based it on, who I had a huge crush on. So I called her Vivian in the original script. Then later, somewhere along the line, when I was doing revisions, whatever, I turned into Jill. I guess subconsciously somewhere I must have been thinking about Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland, but it wasn't a conscious decision on my part. So, but that was only yeah. After a while, I was like, hey, there's actually a connection there, Charlie, Jill. Then it kind of clicked for me as well. It's like actually, it's perfect the way it turned out. But it was kind of it happened on a subconscious level. That's kind of how that happened. But yeah, he was always Charlie. I always call him Charlie, named after Bronson. The final, or the not final, the last name rather, I named after Colonel Decker from the A Team because I was a huge fan of the A Team when I was a kid. You had Colonel Decker on there
Right.
chasing the A Team, so I was kind of like that character. So that's where the surname Decker came from. But yeah, Charles, that's Charlie. It's obviously based on Charles Bronson. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned Colonel Decker because in the series that's actually pretty interesting. You mentioned it because if you look at the series of the A Team, Colonel Decker was not a bad person. He was only
Yeah,
doing what he was supposed to
doing his
do.
job.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, he was just doing his job. It wasn't like it wasn't like he was vindictive. He's just
Yeah.
had he has had to do a job. Um, Lance DeGault, man, that guy had an
Yeah.
awesome
Great actor.
voice. I mean,
Great
great
voice. Yeah.
actor. As soon as you hear
Definitely.
him, man, you just know who he is right off the bat. It's like,
Yeah.
oh boy. And the first thing you think when you hear it is like, oh boy, someone's in trouble. Someone
Yeah.
because he has that commanding officer voice, says,
Yeah.
come here. Oh shit, what did I do now?
Very booming, commanding voice for sure. Absolutely, yeah. Great actor, great character actor. Yeah.
I got to read, and thank you for this too. I didn't realize the book was coming out so soon.
Mm,
I thought it was we were reading it and then telling you about it by the 24th. and then didn't do the revisions and then release it. I didn't realize that, that you were releasing it so fast.
Oh yeah, no, I
But
went through like 3 revisions of it, so it's
okay,
about done. Maybe some minor corrections. If I still spot something that ain't quite right, I might correct that. But for the 99%, I would say it's done for now. So yeah.
so I got to read the first couple of chapters. I saw the forward, a lot of love in the forward. I was like, I was waiting for you to start bringing, I was waiting for you to start bringing out us, for the YouTube guys. Thanks to my YouTube
Yeah.
family, there's like 10,000 people there. It's like, but I read the first couple of chapters. Yeah, man, that's your writing style is from what I've seen is very. I used to read a series back in the '70s called The
Mm.
Executioner.
Oh yeah.
It was written by Don Pendleton. Well, that was the name, but there's like 5 or 6 people underneath him, submitting because there was an adventure per month.
Yeah.
One executioner every month, and it wasn't coming from the one guy. But man, that was like probably my first men's adventure book that I ever read. Because up to that time, I had been reading science fiction and horror and comic books
Mm.
and whatnot. But the Executioner was the first men's story I ever read. That book, those books had everything. It had sex, violence, righteous rage, tremendous, like I said, tremendous action, and then they did the flip on us and I converted this. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I still think that the books are still being published, even up to
Yeah, could
today.
be. Yeah.
Because what they did was they made him. They did in fact, the A team. You can say the A team took a page from the Executioner book, and that is for the last season of the show, they became government agents.
Yeah.
They worked for the
True.
government.
True.
And
Yeah.
so that's what happened with Matt Bullen. He went ahead and he joined Phoenix Force. God, I
Mm.
remember all this shit. Wow. So okay, that's a testing if I'm sure if I'm not going crazy or not. I still can remember everything from Executioner. Um,
Yeah.
but I like your style because it has that same gritty. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm excited to get into
No,
it.
thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I guess I'll through all my ramble there is what books did you read? What books did you read when you were growing up? Were you into action and adventure as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, growing up, I mean, obviously, when you're a kid, you read kids' books and stuff, right? Obviously, children's books. But then very early on, I mean, just like with the movies, I mean, I was 6, 7 years old when I was already watching the Rocky films, right? I'm wearing the cap representing, when I was watching the Bond films, right? I was already 6, 7 years old watching those films. And pretty early on, I got into more mature books as well. Like Stephen King, he's a big presence for me as a writer, as an author. Obviously, very prolific, very very in demand, whatever, popular, whatever phrase you want to put on him, but label you want to put on rather. Uh, and Ian Fleming as well. Again, growing up as a Bond fan, the Ian Fleming books are really like the first kind of real mature books that I've read. Like obviously they're written in the 50s and the 60s, very different times, obviously very different ways in terms of racial, all that stuff. But the writing, it was so economic. Like he didn't. I mean, he would go into a lot of descriptions when it comes to food and whatever, but when it comes to action, he was very direct and to the point. Like Bond shot once, he shot back. It's kind of like very, but very direct and very hardcore, if you will, Ian Fleming. So yeah, those are kind of my cornerstones, my kind of like my two writing mentors, if you will, is Ian Fleming and Stephen King. Those two authors have meant the most to me as a writer, taking inspiration from them. I think that comes through in the work and Sweet to Judgment, hopefully.
Did I commented that like you're going to be our next lead child. Um, Man, until he retired, I think his son took over it. Because I think the Lee retired, but
Yeah.
up till when Lee retired, his books were really, really good. I mean, you could tell between Lee Child and Andrew, it's like night and day. It's
Mm,
not. it's just a drop off. Um, do you notice that too? When do you read a lot of do you like read a lot of contemporary authors other than King and Ian Fleming? Do you ever read anything,
Yeah,
any of like Dale Brown? Dale Brown's a great, do you read Tom Clancy?
yeah,
Do you read any?
absolutely.
Do you read
Yeah.
any?
Yeah,
Okay,
whenever I can, I try to read obviously contemporary. The thing is with Stephen King right now, I'm on a King binge. I'm kind of going through his entire bibliography, I guess, as a word for books, right? Yeah, it is. I'm going through an entire marathon of all the Stephen King's books, so I don't have much time to put stuff in between right now. But whenever I can, I do try obviously to keep up with the latest books, and especially in the genres that I'm interested in, which are action thrillers. Which is my book is kind of like an action thriller with a heavy, subtle, well, not subtle, with a heavy touch of romance as well in my book. But those are kind of stories I'm drawn to, very like more human, more grittier, I guess. And yeah, I am a bit of a romantic, so I do like some romance in the books as well. So those are kind of my genres. And obviously with King, it's horror as well, a lot of horror. So yeah,
I've heard from many authors, especially action authors, and especially them because they have a really hard time writing the intimate parts. It's almost like, oh my god, let me wipe out this crew of bad guys here. I could do that. He
yeah,
grabbed this heckler cock, KH5 and shot them all. Oh yeah, I can do that all. Okay, well, okay, but now you're going to dinner with your main heroine. Oh shit.
yeah,
Well, we drove through the drive-through at McDonald's. She wanted the cheeseburger. I wanted, it's just it's just really hard for some writers to get into that. Um,
mm.
did you have help with that? Did you ask a lady friend to come over and take a look at what you wrote and see what she had to say about it?
That would have been a great idea, actually, now that you say it, but
You
no, I
can
didn't.
you
No,
can
I
use
did it. I did it all on myself. Yeah, all on my own. Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, you could use it. Yeah, you know what? I would, because I wouldn't know the first thing. To me, it's like, I read, when I was growing up, I read action, but I also read, books that my mom read. Like, that's how I got into Judith Krantz. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You wouldn't get it in her. You wouldn't get it into her today. That's for sure. Yeah. Her books would not make the bookshelves. Um, yeah, it's crazy. But writing, like, what kind of research did you do did you talk to any military men, or did you just basically go based on the movies that you've seen, or did you actually go talk to any military or policemen and sit there and say, I just want to bend your ear about, certain situations, if you could do that,
Yeah.
and just, talk and record, let them record and just let them talk.
Yeah, way back when I wrote the original screenplay, I did go to some of the veterans' homes around here, and did some research and asked people questions. Because obviously, when I wrote this 10 years, I was 19. At 19, what do you know? You know nothing. You don't really have much, life experience, whatever. At 19, so way back then, I did. Yeah. Now for this go around on the book, I just drew on that, which I still remember quite a bit of. And also, yeah, I did a lot of research online, wrote books on the subject, especially when it comes to PTSD and all that, which is one of the things my protagonist is struggling with in the book. And also, I reread David Morrell's First Blood again, which is a huge influence as well. Um, in which he describes, the mental state which Rambo goes through in the book, which is quite different to how Stallone played it in the film. Obviously, there's always going to be a difference between a film and the original novel it's based on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those were kind of my sort of where I pulled from. The most research that I did, honestly, on this book is now that I had a setting for it, New Orleans. It's set in New Orleans and Louisiana. Obviously, I'm not from the states, as people might be able to tell. So I had to do a lot of research there. I had to really like, okay, Cafe Du Monde. I want to have my protagonist sit there for a romantic date, so I got to know exactly what that place looks like. Luckily, YouTube is a thing. You can watch a lot of videos. You can actually soak in the place without even being there. But so yeah, a lot of research was done. Researching the streets of New Orleans and the city of New
I,
Orleans.
I was gonna say if you really need, like a video to research it, there's this one video they have called Hard Target, and you can go ahead.
I did watch a lot of films out of New Orleans as well.
Yeah,
Hard Target, Hard Times with Charles Bronson again.
right.
Avenging Force with Dudikoff. Yeah, I watch a lot of New Orleans set films. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see how America is, looked at through, eyes of. I've always been entertained by that. Like how does James Bond see America? Like
Mm,
or any protagonist. How was it? Because a lot of times you read a lot of books where they're talking about immigration. When they immigrated from the old country to the United States.
yeah.
Um, now, if he did that, you have to write that ICE would be sitting there waiting for him too. Um,
Yeah. That is right. Yeah.
uh, you know, freedom. Look at the Statue of Liberty. Not for you.
Yeah.
What the
I
hell?
know, right?
Um,
Yeah.
right. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. It's interesting to read about. It's interesting to read about our country through the eyes of someone from the outside. I mean, I
Mm,
read plenty of books from English and Ireland hillside and Scottish moors and all that. And I'm going like, okay, yeah, I get it. I get it. But the United States is such a melting pot. I mean,
yeah.
it's so different. Um, but and the fact that you were able to bring that into Streets of Judgment, so I mean, whoever's reading it is probably going to think that you're, at least if they read the English copy, they're probably going to think that you're American.
Yeah. No,
That's not
that's a
a
great
that's not
compliment. Yeah, no, I really try my best to really research it as best I mean, I feel it's really like not just the job of the author or the writer, it's also an obligation, right? If you're gonna write about a place, you really gotta kind of get the vibe of it down. Obviously, you can, use some imagination. You can create something here and there. Like obviously, the street that my character lives on might not be an actual street where houses are, but hey, for my book, it is, for example. But if you get the vibe, if you get the tone, I guess that accounts for something, I guess. Yeah.
now. How much of Charlie Decker is you?
Except for the military background, I would say he's about 50, 60% me. Just like me, he loves movies, which is, is very clear in the book. There's a lot of pop culture references and all that stuff in my writing. He kind of has my basic physical features, whatever. So he does have my goatee, he has my arms, whatever, all that stuff. He works out just. I mean, he's a little bit more fit, as opposed to me. He's a bit more fit. Obviously, military. You got to be pretty fit. But no, a large part of him is me, and a lot of the things that I describe him, his vices, what he likes, the kind of cigarettes he smokes, what he drinks. That's me. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right, right. And I understand that and I can't wait till I hit the spot. I probably just wait till I do that, but I'm going to ask you anyway. But I like the fact that you brought in, Gareth in there. You wrote him into the book, which I think
Yeah.
is a very, very cool thing. Whether even if he gets ventilated or not, it's still a cool idea that yeah, you know, why not, right?
Yeah.
We all know the British make the best villains. Come on, really? We all know that. I mean,
That is true.
for everyone James Bond, there's like 30. There's 30 English, Blowfield.
Yeah. Or James Mason, whoever. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They always play the best bad guys. Um, but as far as that go, well, it's funny because was talking about I was just talking about Agatha Christie,
Oh
and
yeah.
like, yeah, and one of the things that she wrote, I don't know if have you ever read any of her books?
Oh yeah, I've read a few. I've read Death on the Nile, Murder on the Orient Express. That's actually one of my favorite films as well. There's been a few versions of it, but I like the one with Sean Connery in it, and I forget the actor's name who played Poirot. Oh, he was
That
also in
was Finney.
Skyfall. Yeah, Finney. That's it. Yeah, Albert Finney. That's it. Yeah, I
You
like
know,
that film. I like that book as well. So yeah, yeah.
I would definitely recommend watching the David Lachey version.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Please react to Ramayana trailer. It's just dropped now. It's the biggest India cinema. I have no idea what that is.
No,
Uh,
doesn't ring a bell there.
I,
No.
yeah, no. You know what's funny? I tell you, it's funny. Like, we read in different cultures. We're talking about different cultures, and one of the things I've been wanting to do more and more, and it's like it's hard as hell too. And it's really funny. Is like, man, I'd like to try to get in some Indian films, some Bollywood films,
Some Bollywood.
but
Yeah, yeah.
for the love of God, I can't find any. And
Mm,
yeah, that is absolutely crazy. It's like I can find German, I can find Belgian, I can find Dutch, I can't find any Bollywood.
yeah.
Okay, so back to the book. So you took you're writing your character, Charlie Decker. He's 50% you, 50% of Hey, Paladin, you hear me talking to Jeff? All right, he's not doing too good. He's not doing good. I got to take him in
Oh.
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I saw on
Yeah,
Facebook. Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
yeah. He got his. I don't know. I think he got hurt during an examination,
Mm,
and yeah, and now it's like it sucks because I was actually planning to get some stool sample from him and take it to the doctor so they could go ahead and scan it and make sure that he's not suffering from a parasite.
yeah.
And now I can't do that because he can't, because like dogs and cats, when you see them go to the restroom, you know, the one thing you notice is they put all the pressure on their back legs. They use
Yeah.
that to help. And now he doesn't have one of his legs, so now he's having trouble going to the restroom.
Yeah,
So
of
it's like,
course. Yeah.
so to my like I'd like to give him some food, but I'm not going to because I'm afraid that I don't want him to be full up and have no way of getting rid of it. So
Yeah.
tomorrow at 3 p.m. I got to take him in and have him do an X-ray and get a shot. But he's came up here to say hi, which is really good. He
Yeah,
didn't do
no.
that yesterday. All right.
Yeah. Hope
Wait a
it
minute.
will
Does
turn out
Charlie have a
well.
pet?
Yeah.
Does Charlie have a pet in the book?
No, he does not. No.
Oh, you left that open for the sequel.
Could be.
Are you? I know the book's just coming out in August, but after you got done writing it, were you? Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Hi. Don't stand up. Don't stand on the back legs. Don't do that. He's standing on my leg, and I don't want him to do that. It's good. Um, did you feel like what was it like when you finally ended the book? Did you just was it a relief per se, or was it something that you felt like, man, I had so much fun doing this. Now you have to do the real hard part. What was it like taking your book to it? Did you take your book to an editor,
No,
or
I
did
had to
you
do
sub
all that
edit it?
myself. Yeah, that was all my
Okay.
own work. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did you use did you use a editing program?
No, no,
No.
just
Oh,
good
wow.
old human tools, whatever. Just the resources I have naturally, I guess. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
nothing
no,
wrong with that.
I just took the word, I just took the manuscript, put it into Microsoft Word, format. The first thing I did was formatting it to be to be the size for the paperback and all that stuff. And then I went through with a fine tooth comb and just okay, this isn't wrong, this isn't right. It should fix this. It should use a comma here. Maybe should use a hyphen here. Whatever, all that stuff. Everything is done by manual labor, I guess. Yeah.
I, one thing that's really fun, Jeff, is the fact that a lot of writers, especially new writers, um, they write their book, right? But it's almost like they write their book and then they look at it and they're like afraid to give it
Mm,
out. They're afraid to. It's like, and what I really enjoyed was the fact that you wrote it and you were so vibrant about it. Like check this out, dudes. You need to check this out, and that's that confidence. Mr. Dan and Hoare is here. I'll say hello.
Hey, Dan.
Uh,
Mr. Dan. Yeah.
I dropped our retro tube today, Dan. Me, Mr. Dan, and Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace. We watched a show called The Battle of the Network Stars that came out during the 80s and 70s.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Oh my god! It's so funny. That shit is funny as hell. We had a great time. Did you have that? Did you have that the feeling of I got this one down. I got the first one down, or was it just like? And did you start keeping notes when you're writing, and you start keeping notes like, wow, this would be good for the next book, because I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
you'll probably want to do another, so you kept on making notes like, okay, that guy got away, I
Mm.
chased him, Charlie chased him, and he got away. He might make a good villain for the next book, or a good henchman, or something like that. So did you keep notes like that when you were writing, or at when you're doing your editing? Did you
Oh
did
yeah.
you start thinking about the next? Oh, that's cool. That's
Oh yeah,
cool.
constantly, constantly. Yeah, obviously, you got to
Wow.
keep track. You got to keep track on what you're doing, where the characters are going. If I write a scene that takes place a week after the previous one, I got to know exactly what happened. I don't want to create plot holes or whatever. So you got to constantly keep notes and keep track of everything. And I do indeed have some notes and ideas on the hopefully the two planned sequels, because I'm planning to make this a trilogy if all works out, if everything works out.
Well, I'm glad you didn't take David Morrell's his idea. I'm glad you were influenced all the way out. Because
Yeah,
otherwise, it'd be over with. Your book would be over with. We'd be talking like,
it'd be a one
okay, it
and
was
done.
great, it was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
Well, wait a minute, aren't you gonna do another one? No, no, that's it. He's dead. Yeah, not. A lot of people don't realize that, Jeff. They
True.
don't realize that. They don't realize that Rambo was a one shot character.
Yeah,
Um, he did give permission to a short story, though. There's a short story that they did with some different writers, and they
yeah.
teamed a writer with two writers together with their memorable characters. And David Morrell was able to use Rambo as a ghost to help with
Mm.
the. Yeah, it was really cool. It was like, because people, that's what people talked about. They were like, wow, he actually because he's actually sort of really strident about that. Like, I'm never gonna bring him back ever, but he
Yeah,
brought
no,
him back
he's done a
for.
lot of other work, and he's never really returned. Yeah, to Rambo. It's yeah, that was a one and done, really. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really strange.
yeah.
All right. So all right, so let's get back to the writing. What was it like for you to actually sit there and find yourself writing? Um, I mean, did and how did you keep on track? I mean, just how many pages is your book?
The main story is 303 pages at least when it's formatted in this format right here. And in the paper, it reaches 303 pages. The original manuscript came in at a approximate what was it again? I think it was 246 pages was the original manuscript draft, but then it's a big screen, whatever. It's not really properly formatted, and then when it's formatted, it's over 300 pages, just slightly over. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, did you find yourself? I mean, did you ever find yourself fighting the character, like like when you're typing it and you're going like, man, this just doesn't feel right. Why this is just not happening. This is not what he would do. And
Oh yeah.
you're writing it, but and you just like, how did you how I mean when things got really like intense, what did you do to reset, to recharge yourself, to get back into it?
That is a great question, and that happened all the time. I think it happens to every writer. That's how you obviously care for your story that you're crafting. If you really want to bang your head against the wall, which believe me, at points I was just about at that point to do that. So no,
Like,
what I did is I
like,
really go ahead.
I was gonna say, luckily you have a British villain that you can blame all the shit on.
My nemesis. Yeah.
Thanks,
Uh,
thanks, Gareth. Thanks, Gareth.
yeah, I know exactly. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, so I definitely had that at times, but I really did set myself to a strict regimen each day to really like try and get 2,000 words on the page every day. in the morning, write 2 hours 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the late afternoon or in the early evening, and then that's it. Then we're not gonna touch it again. Then we're just gonna let that percolate, I guess, and just stick to that regimen. So that's kind of how I kind of fix that. And then between the morning and the late afternoon, evening when I did my work, I went for a walk and I thought about things like, okay, maybe that didn't quite work, and maybe then some ideas came to me and stuff. So that's kind of how I became tranquil again, I guess.
Did you always just write at home, or did you go outside, like to a cafe and have a coffee and while you were typing?
Yeah, most of it was done right here at home. I did sometimes go out to the park, which is about 5 minutes from me, and just kind of walk around and get some ideas. And then sometimes I would have my iPad and my wireless keyboard with me, and I would type a few things that came to me at the moment. It was like, okay, save that for later. But yeah, the majority of it was just done right here at home. Yeah.
Oh, that's so much. That's got to be it's got to be relaxing. Now, I guess
Mhm.
the big question is, did you write in silence or did you write with a Western in the background? I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking about. I bet he probably had Django in the background when he was typing.
uh, well, the Django soundtrack, I wrote to a lot of music. Got the earbuds in and got the music playing. A lot of soundtracks, 70s music, 60s music, 80s music, a lot of that stuff, and you will find that back in the book. Because a lot of the songs I was saying to him, hey, this actually makes sense with the scene. Let's write that in there. So yeah, kind of worked its way in.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw how you mentioned that during your premiere, your live. You're talking about all the songs that you included in the book. I think that's very cool. And as far as I understand, I don't think. I mean, I don't. I guess as long as you don't write, I don't know. I think if you write the lyrics, you have to get permission. But as far as the song itself by the artist, you can
Yeah, the
throw your
actual
you can throw your
title
comment
you
back.
can mention. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, that's actually one of the many revisions. In my original manuscript, I did have some of the lyrics as the text of the song in there. But then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta pay royalties for that. I'm a beginning author. I'm a self-published author. I don't get the funds for that. So let's not do that. Let's remove the lyrics then and just keep the song titles, because yeah, you cannot really copyright a title. Like everybody can use my title, Streets of Judgment. That's not copyright. You cannot copyright a title. So yeah, that's fair use for everyone. A title can always be used. So yeah.
John from Doomsday Crypt is here, and he says Matt looks a lot different. Yes, Matt Burns was supposed to be our original guest today, but he had technology issues, so we're gonna have to reschedule him. And I agree. I think Matt is a good guy too. Matt's a good pal. Yeah, we're gonna have him. I might just have him and Shane come on together. I think that might work
Mm,
for us. Um, Shane, they run Blood Pact Films, good independent film company. A lot of interesting independent films. I've reviewed a couple of them already. Looking forward to more. Um, yeah, they got this one out that they got a brand new movie out, and it's they called it the I think it was the night of the it was Night of the Blind Dead.
mm,
And someone had commented saying, like, I wouldn't want to run into that. Hopefully they won't hear me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why would it matter if they heard you or not if they can't
yeah,
see you? It's just like that. That was my question. It's like I can make noise all I want because they can't see me.
yeah. Shots, yeah.
Uh, 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 so I want to get back to one of the main things about the book and what I'm looking forward to. Um, why Jill? I mean, like, I know you said you wrote about another girl that you like, but when you started rewriting it, you could have put anybody
Yeah.
in there. Why? Because Jill has done Charlotte had done a lot of movies with a lot of different leading ladies, and this is a more of an action-packed book. It has elements of romance in it, but it's an action
Yeah.
book. And whereas 10 noon to 3 is actually like I said, it's a romantic. It's
That is
probably his
more of a
most romantic
romance.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
I agree.
why bring Jill into this? I mean, what was it just because you recognize the connection between Charles Bronson and her? Did you feel like it would help put over the romance part of the book better? People would like to, because I won't be the only one to comment on this uh, about Charles and Jill, and that's really what you want, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, because I love a good story with really strong, romantic leads. Me, that's awesome. Um, but what was it like writing? What was it like writing her? Through your eyes, you're writing about Jill Ireland, aspects of her, but you're writing her. What was that like, Jeff? I mean, was it? I mean, did you ever stop and realize what you're doing? Did you have to take some time off to, like, wow, this is, one of your
Um,
favorite people in the world.
well, yeah, yeah, no, like I said, it was kind of a subconscious thing more than I realized later. It's like, hey, there's this, Charles Bronson, Jill Ireland connection. The reason why I changed it from again originally was Vivian to Jill was well, it just kind of didn't work out with that girl that I was madly in love with. But I was like, yeah, she still inspired the story. So I have a different character in my book that's called Vivian. So she's still in there. Um, but no, I changed her name. I guess I went for Jill. It is a Bronson related story because there is a film, well, my favorite Bronson film, Once Upon a Time in the West, Spaghetti Western by Sergio Leone, 1968. In which you have Claudia Cardinal, one of the most beautiful women on the planet. May she rest in peace. She passed away last year. um her character was Jill in that film, and Bronson kind of did have a little romantic angle with her in that film. So I got subconsciously, I guess it always goes back to Bronson. But yeah, no, that was really my. I was like, yeah, I like the name Jill. I like that character from Once Upon a Time in the West. I always liked the name Jill anyway. Um, and then only later again, I realized it was Jill Ireland. Writing her, yeah, that's a different story. I mean, obviously, I wrote her pretty much like that girl was that I based her on. Even in the book, down to her physical appearance. I mean, obviously, I altered it somewhat, whatever. But the core with the auburn hair and all that stuff, her hazelnut brown eyes, that's still that was the real girl. So if you write that was real. It's based on a real girl that I knew, and I was madly in love with at one point. So yeah.
Maybe she'll maybe send her a copy anonymously, and maybe she'll recognize herself. And who knows? I've seen stranger things happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, you
Um,
never know.
uh,
Yeah.
so how's it been like to self-publish? What are some of the steps that you've had to take to self-publish your book? I'm sure that's a good question people are going to ask.
Oh,
How,
yeah.
how how hard is it to do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was kind of that's a funny thing how I came to this. Again, I wrote that screenplay about 10 years ago, tried to kind of do it as an independent student, whatever film, because again, I was 19 at the time. Do it locally with my friends, do it as a film. Um, then yeah, when it came time to do this book, there was a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivations, I guess, for doing the book. One of them was one of my best friend actually, way back when, said, the movie might not work out, the acting might not go your way, because I mean, I look back at some of the footage we actually shot. I wasn't that great of an actor. Uh, the acting might not be that great, he said, but you are a great writer, he said. Stick with that. And that's kind of one of those things that always stuck with me. I was like, well, it's only one guy that said it, but still, that kind of meant something. And then I'm a big fan of the Bond films and the Bond universe and the Bond books. Then I was watching a book club on the Ian Fleming Bond novels. There's this book club, and there was a guy on there called Roland Hulme, Hulme, British guy. He lives in New York. He's a self-published author. He was talking about that on that book club. That kind of sparked the idea, like, hey, he does that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. You could go on Amazon and publish your own book. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to credit that
Yeah.
to that guy, because he is a self-published. He's doing quite well actually at that. And I was like, again, the wheel started turning, and then finally, at the beginning of this year, I was kind of writing a different book that I've kind of shelved for a bit. I might go back to it. And then I took a look at that old screenplay again. I was like, yeah, these characters, they haven't really left me. Let's pull them back in, to quote Al Pacino. from The Godfather 3. And let's put their story again now in a whole different thing, which is the book. So that's kind of like the springboard and the genesis of me actually sitting down and writing it. As far as it comes to the thing of self-publishing, I did really have to do my research. How does that work? You have to create an Amazon KDP account and all that stuff. You have to do all the stuff to submit yourself for that. And that was kind of easy once you got the hang of it. The hardest part of it all was not just writing, but then the formatting and all the editing. That was the hardest part of the job. Actually setting up the KDP account and applying it to Amazon, applying the copyright for my story. That was kind of easy enough, simple enough, I guess. Yeah.
Now, did it cost you anything to do that? Did Amazon want money from you, or did a
Not
copyright want money
Amazon.
from you?
Yeah, not Amazon. No, I did have to pay for the copyright and I have to pay for I had to pay for the ISBN, which is like, every book has a different ISBN number. It's like kind of like a social security number. Every book has one. So you have to get one of those numbers for your paperback. You have to get one of those numbers for your hardback if you want to do one. If you and you don't necessarily have to get one for your ebook, but I did anyway. So I did pay for the ISBN. That costs a bit of money, and also the copyright. So it is kind of an investment as well. You kind of have to put a little bit of money in there. I
Right.
think you can
Yeah.
use a free ISBN from Amazon, but then they own it. And I want to eventually get this book in different bookstores. So that's why I pay for my
Yeah.
own ISBN. So
I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, I would want to retain control of it all the way through. Um,
yeah.
now the fun really is going to begin. Now that you got it out, now you're gonna go. Now you have to go to the bookstores and
Mhm.
start, trying to see if you can get your book in, and
Yeah.
maybe you can even find like a coffee shop or whatever, and ask them if you could do a discussion. Maybe talk about your book signing, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Who
if you
knows?
guys do that.
Everything is possible. Yeah. There's definitely some venues here locally for me where that could be possible very well. It's definitely.
Um, yeah, Amazon's trippy, man. There's one thing I will tell you about that. You'll get a lot of people, if you haven't already started, get this, but you'll get a lot of people coming your way, and they'll give you a 5-star review.
Mm.
Yep. Uh, I actually got I actually got approached twice on my blog, and I was offered one time I was offered $300, and another time I was offered $175 if I would read and review their book and give it a 5-star.
Okay. Well. Yeah.
They were gonna pay me, and I'm going like, my God, are you kidding me? I'm not gonna take your money. I'll
Yeah.
read
I
your
know.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just found it to be like, I just know there's a lot of people there that do that shit, and they hype up everybody. It's like a little clique, because I've seen some. I'll be honest with you. I've seen some self-published authors on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen better writing in a comic strip. Really, really. Yeah, not too good. I mean, it's a good idea. It's something that I can see it's an itch, but it's
Yeah.
like one of those things where you sit there and like you read the book and you're going like, what the hell? Misspelling, grammatical error. I mean, it's just like, because Amazon doesn't proofread your book.
No.
They don't
No.
no, no, you put it up there as it is. I mean, so if
Yeah.
it's a good book, yeah. But yeah, they don't proofread. So if you go ahead and buy a book, oh, this looks good. I'll buy it for a couple of bucks, and then you see it's like Dick and Jane has better plot structure. That's on you.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
can definitely see that. Yeah. I don't know why I did. Why people? Why somebody would pay somebody for a 5-star review? I would rather give somebody the book. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, it just tells me how you feel about the book. That's more important to me than faking a 5-star review, whatever. It's like I know not
one
everybody's
thing.
gonna love my book. I know not everybody's gonna hate my book. It's gonna be some people like it, some people don't like it. It's not everybody can like or not like any a single thing at the
Well,
same
I
time.
can say
So yeah.
I know. I already know for sure. I can actually sit there and say this. I'm 1,000% sure it's going to wipe the hell out of JD Vance on whatever you write. It's going to be much better than him.
Yeah.
I'm just being truthful. Don't hate. Uh, hate the writer, not the reader. Uh, are you ready for that? Are you ready for the next to people to read your book, and are you gonna and talk about it? Are you ready for something like that? Because this is the difference between like when you read a book, and then like, have you ever written to your favorite author? Have you ever written to Stephen King saying, "Hey, Mr. King, I really like your book," this and that? Have you ever made contact with anybody like that before? And are you gonna be ready to handle the feedback that you're gonna get from Streets of Judgment? I think
Oh,
you're gonna get. I
yeah.
think it's gonna be awesome. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be
fingers
yeah.
crossed. Fingers crossed. I mean, to answer the one part of the question, yeah, I did once get a little heart from Stephen King on Instagram. I commented on one of his posts and got a little like from him, but that's about it. Sadly, sadly, fortunately, whatever you want to say. Um, as it comes, I mean, you kind of have to have a thick skin when you put out, a work like this, right? I mean, again, people are not gonna like it. You gotta accept that. I mean, not everybody's gonna like something. That's just the way it is. You just gotta have a thick skin about it, and I think I have. I mean, as long as people don't get too personal, it's like, oh, there's a shit because the offer is shit. Then I'm gonna be like, yeah, f you. But if you
Right,
just
right.
give it a constructive review of why you didn't like it, I will appreciate that. That's fine by me.
Oh,
As
to
long as you
me,
don't get personal,
the,
you know.
the book's already perfect. I mean, not only did you put Charles and Jill back there, but you also, and I got to ask you this, if you can talk about this, feel comfortable about it. But tell us a little about where you put Gareth at. I mean, what's his part in the book? Is he a side character, a big character, just something like
Oh
an
yeah.
Easter egg for us?
Yeah, it's more like an Easter egg. He's towards the end of the book, so I won't say too much. But well, I guess I won't be a spoiler to say what he is. He's basically a cop. He's a New Orleans police officer. Yeah. There's
Hell
another
yeah,
character in there that you know very well that you will definitely recognize, a New Orleans local. So I won't say too much further on
really?
that. Mm.
Okay, okay. I love it. I love it. It's being an author never easy. Great attitude, Jeff. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Thank you.
excited. I'll be, like I've already, like I said, I've gotten into the first 20 pages. I would have been a lot further along. Unfortunately, I've had family problems come up there. So, but I
Yeah,
definitely
no
will read it.
worries. That's
I'll,
yeah.
I'll definitely have it. You want it all done by the 24th. I'll have it way done before then. Now, are you releasing the book on the 24th or on the 26th?
Yeah, the paperback will be on the 24th. Get that
Okay.
in frame. This will be on the 24th, and the ebook will release just a Friday before. So the 24th is on a Monday, and so before the weekend starts, the ebook rolls out, which you can pre-order, I think, the week ahead. Sadly, you cannot pre-order a paperback on Amazon, which I don't know why they allow ebooks to be pre-ordered, but not the paperbacks. But so the rollout is going to be on Friday, which that will make that Friday the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, or 21st. And then yeah, on the 24th will be on the Monday will be the paperback rollout. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, this will be my last question for you. What's in the future for Charlie Decker? I know he just, his first book's rolling out there, but I already know you're writing a trilogy. So, what's next? Will he go forward and hopefully he'll be going forward with Joe, but you can't tell us that, and that's fine.
Mm.
Where do you have him going in the next novel?
Ooh, I'm gonna answer this one a bit more cryptic because yeah, when I did the original three scripts, the trilogy of scripts, I had three very different, distinct themes for each script. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to carry over to the books, but script one was about finding love again. Script two was about hate, and revenge. Script three was about redemption. If the books are going to carry that on, it's yet to be determined. But that's the way the arc was for the trilogy of the scripts. So yeah.
I like the revenge. Hopefully
Mm.
he gets righteous revenge. I can't wait to think. Like I said, I already got the copy. I'm already reading it. I'll be sitting there going, hell yeah, for sure. of course, I'm gonna be encouraging for you. I think it's gonna be exciting and always a chance to see to see a creative. I mean, I've only seen this twice. As far as a YouTuber actually
Mm,
writing a book and publishing out, I've only talked to two people doing this, and you're one of them. So I think it's pretty exciting, and I look forward to seeing what kind of feedback you get and
yeah.
where it goes. It would be really cool if someone decided that they wanted to take your character and make a movie out of it. Um,
Ooh, yeah.
who would you want to play? Who would you want to play? Who would you want to play Charlie Decker and if you got a chance?
That's a great question. Yeah, yeah. That's obviously one of the things you think about, especially when you're a big fan of cinema and films and TV series or whatever. You always think about the possibility, like maybe let's say this thing is successful enough, maybe Netflix comes knocking. We want to do a limited series or whatever. Yeah, who would be the
Right.
cast? You kind of have some ideas, and it's tough to tell because yeah, the character he's a little bit older than me, so I would be out of the age range myself. I kind of age myself up in the book. He's in his mid 30s, Charlie Decker. So yeah, if they age it up further, I think I said this on the live stream the other day. I can see Pedro Pascal kind of playing it because I don't know. Some people have
Because he
said I
plays in
kind of
everything.
kind of have some resemblances to him, but yeah, I don't see it myself. But some people have said it. I can kind of see him doing that, like yeah, playing the broken guy in the beginning of the story, and then yeah, I could see him. As far as Jill, that's going to be a tough one because the way I describe her in the book, she kind of resembles Diana Rick. So you would have to
Oh,
find a young Diana Rick, so that would be very tough, I think. Yeah,
that would be very tough.
yeah,
Uh, uh, well, could you would you be happy if she looks sort of like Joanna Lumley?
yeah, yeah. Go work with that. Yeah.
Because I love Diana Rigg, but I was always more of a Purdy man myself. But I
Yeah,
used to
can't
sit
go
there and
wrong
watch that
there.
show.
Yeah.
No, I love that show.
Yeah.
They made it for CBS. The one season I fell in love with it. I was like, Diana who? Because there comes Purdy. I was like, okay. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Jeff, man, I'm excited. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to pop. I think you're going to enjoy the ride. I think you're going to get a lot of positive feedback. I think that's all about part of growing. That's. I actually wish more people would actually offer me feedback doing this, because I know that because I never hear anything back. You never hear anything
Mm,
back, so you always are wondering, am I doing it right? Because you have nothing to bounce it off of. And for
mm.
a writer, man, yeah, people will give you plenty of to bounce off. I tell you that.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
look how we talk about books, and or talk about movies. And you see a lot of people bounce things off, but not so much books. Um,
Mm,
so and I really hope that you can get your book in the bookstore. That'll be the most exciting thing, to see your book in a bookstore.
yeah.
And
Wouldn't that be
that's
awesome?
something I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be very cool. Um, go in there and sign a few copies without telling anybody, and then you go,
I would
well, you
do
tell the
that. Yeah.
bookstore,
Yeah.
yeah, you tell the bookstore owner, I'm gonna put a 5 in here randomly, and then people get it, they'll get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to Jeff and Charlie and Jill. They saved my bacon. As we had tech problems earlier with our guest Matt Burns, we're gonna get together with Matt here real quick and get this straightened out. Tomorrow night, is scheduled to be actor Timothy Chismar. I'm just gonna be honest right here. If I'm at the vet after 3 o'clock, I'm
Mm.
not sure about the show, so if anything happens unexpectedly, obviously I won't be here. But
Understandably
until
so.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be here on the 30th with Timothy, and then on the 1st of August, I'll be talking with Tatiana Neva,
Oh.
who is co-starring with Jeff's girl. That's right. Who's Jeff's girl? Who's your girl, Jeff?
Yeah. Cynthia.
That's right. Tatiana is starring with Cynthia Rothrock in
There she
Pray of
is.
Wrath. Yes. Yep. I'm waiting for the next. I'm waiting for the next book. So
Oh, I could
like
give you a
Cynthia.
little tease about my book. She might be in it.
Oh, for the next one or in the new one?
In this current one that you're still reading.
Hell
There
yeah!
may or may
If I
not be
see
a
the word
Cynthia Rothrock cameo.
if I
Yeah.
see the word scorpion in that book, I already know it's Cynthia. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the word scorpion because that means that she's kicking somebody's ass with a scorpion kick. But we'll be talking with Tatiana Neva on Saturday at 5 p.m. here. She did, like I said, Prayer Wrath with Cynthia
Yeah.
Rothrock, and yeah, oh my gosh, have you ever seen Tatiana?
Yeah,
Man, she
I've not
is
seen the actual film, but I've seen the trailer for Prey of Wrath. So it's yeah.
she's badass in this movie.
Yeah, she looked
She
pretty
does.
good in that trailer. Yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
really
I was
good
sitting there
fights.
watching
Yeah.
it. Yeah, good fights, and good action, and she's very talented. Yeah, she's very talented. She was great in the Rio Bravo franchise.
Oh yeah,
She did a
seen
movie
that.
called the Wide West, yeah, and I did a movie called they did a movie called The Wide West, and I still talk about it because I have to. But she did the wardrobe in that, and she did her wardrobe in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's Oscar worthy. Not even
Hmm.
kidding you. She looks stunning, absolutely stunning.
Oh,
I know
awesome.
some
Yeah.
people don't think, yeah. So we'll be talking with her Saturday at 5 p.m. And of course, we'll be talking with her about what was it like working with Cynthia Rothrock because it wasn't her first time. Cynthia appeared. In fact, this is where Cynthia got her Western pickup is that
Oh yeah.
she was actually
Taken from Rio
inspired. She's
Bravo.
actually inspired
Yeah.
from yeah. And so and yes, she did do a scorpion kick in that movie.
Yeah.
Taken from Rio Bravo, she did do. Uh, Jeff, when I watched that for the first time, I was just like, I just love this movie. No matter what, this is it. I mean, Alexander and Jeff Cornett, those two guys are just amazing people, and yeah, and Alex is going to be executive producer for Prey of Wrath, so you know it's going to be top
Oh yeah.
quality because yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to talk with her about it. All right, that will be it for us tonight. Thank you guys for staying in the chat. I appreciate it so much. I will clean this up so this reflects that we talk. Um, and yeah, man, you're gonna be doing a lot of press too. A lot of people are gonna probably come to want to talk with you. So get used to that too.
Yeah, if anyone's
Um,
out there watching, if you guys want to have me on your channels, whatever, I'm available. I just done here for Patrick. It's yeah, just hit me up
no,
on my
yeah, by all
socials.
means.
Yeah.
Get out there and I will yeah, I will see if I can get some people out here to come out here and talk with you. I know you're going to be talking with Gareth. I know that because he's the master of the interview.
Yeah, got
And
Gareth,
see,
got Matt Buckle 316 planned. Yeah.
oh good, maybe Al Lucard. I know he does interviews as well.
That'd be great.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The bat covers everything. He's got
Yeah.
me. He got me into silent films, covering silent films because he covered them. He says you got to check this out. So I watched my first silent film, and I just watched my second one. They're a lot of fun.
Mm.
Glad that he got me to do that. All right, so I know it's late back there in the Netherlands. So is it you are in the Netherlands? I always get the Netherlands and Belgium
Yeah.
confused. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. It's right next to each other. But yeah, no, I mean, in the
Yeah.
Netherlands. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you soon. Jeff, stay right up just one more second. And everybody
All right,
else,
buddy.
we'll see you tomorrow night with Timothy Chismer. Yeah, let's go. Peace.